Hi, if you're new here, or welcome back if you already follow my channel. My name is Irissu and I talk about BL, TV shows and books and all of that. So if you like that, you can subscribe to my channel and let's go. Today's video is going to be my July BL wrap-up. It will include TV shows and also books. Let's start with some statistics. I've watched a total of 20 shows, finished 4, not a lot, and watched a total of 60 episodes. Yes, I have no life. And for BL books, I've read 3-ish. So, because I have a lot of shows to talk about, 20 to be exact, I'm not going to do a summary, but I'm going to say a little bit of my opinion, obviously, about the show. So, because it's going to be long, grab a drink. Mine is lychee and mango flavored. And let's go! TV shows number 1 is one I finished during the month of July, is When Oranges Fall. I've watched episode 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I've loved this show a lot. It's become one of my new favorites, actually. I did make a little video which will be coming out soon, hopefully, so I talk more about it there. But I really love this show. It was the first time I watched Almond progress in something, and I really like their chemistry, and I hope for a new show from them in 2027. I also loved Ken Paul, but I already knew them, and I love the coming of age vibe this show had, and yes, the message was pretty nice, and I love this show ambience. So, my stubborn, don't ask me why, I watched episode 6 and didn't come back to it because I was bored. Actually, I went to watch my stubborn. I didn't watch it back when it aired because I was a bit in a BL slump back then, and it didn't have great reviews. And I kinda understand why. But I did watch the first episode of not the series, and I was curious about both and Oat's chemistry, so I went back and watched My Stubborn because I was really bored. I did not went back to it. I don't know if it's dropped. I don't think I'm dropping it. It's just kind of boring. No plot. Just those type of scenes mostly, and let's just say it's not my priority right now. Maybe when I'm bored, I watched episode 4, 5, and 6. It has 10 units. I do like it right now. I just think it's a rom-com more for adults. I think the humor is a bit more mature than what I'm used to, and I do think I'm still a bit young to fully enjoy it 100%. Like, you can see it's made for more in mind of late 20s, early 30s people. Like the actors are and the characters are, so it makes sense. Then, I know, it's not a BL, but guys, it is. Mr. Kill, I watched episode 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm actually watching this show with my sister because she's finally starting to get on watching Thai shows more, and I do think romance shows are more fun to watch with someone because of the whole shipping thing. But from the very first episode, we were like, you're sure it's a romance and not a BL? Because one guy is flirting all the freaking time. I'm not kidding. It's kind of more gay than some other BL I've watched. Like, the type of BL where I only like you, I don't like men. Well, Pat seems to be liking men, and one man in particular. He investigates a crime, but also he's getting himself a husband, so... But more seriously, I really enjoy the plot right now. For now, it doesn't have plot holes. Let's pray it stays good like that. And the acting is nice, and it does have some thrilling moments, and it's a great show right now. The Prosecutor Proposal is the other series I've finished watching, and I watch episode 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mostly like the whole show. I watch every time it aired. One of the best KBL that came out recently, and I will talk a bit more later, but I did start reading the book too. Like, the drama was really fun. It is true that it is really, really packed because they didn't have a big budget, and they had to fit all the plot in 10 episodes, so it does really feel fast-paced. I do think they did really well, and it respects the novel too, and the chemistry is incredible. Like, so good. And especially because when you watch behind the scenes, the actors are so different from the characters, it's even more fun, because we get the two different versions, you know? Hopefully, they have another show together. Like, I know some people are pissed about fixed pairing, but they do have a great chemistry, and they are really fun behind the scenes too. And also, fun facts, the prosecutor's character is also one of Limino's friends, and I am a big stay, so it was fun to know that. And also, he is a cat dad. I have 4 cats at home. 4 cats at home. So, obviously, I am cat obsessed. Big plus for him. Then I watch not episodes 2, 3, 4, 5. What to say about it? I am kinda disappointed, honestly. I was hoping for it to be the Omegaverse series that would do it right, or like, not be afraid of it. And the first episode, okay. Second, okay. And like, it has those cringy scenes from Omegaverse, and it is funny to watch. Like, I do like Omegaverse, and it was funny, but then it became kind of boring. Like, I think it was episode 4. Nothing happened. Like, when I say nothing, I think you can skip it and not even realize you've skipped an episode. That's how much nothing happened. And like, you feel like maybe something happened, but then one step forward, 10 step back. 10 step back. And honestly, it is a bit tiring, but I did see that the preview of episode 6 is supposed to be moving the plot along at least, so hopefully it gets better, because right now it is sadly very boring. At least I did watch 5 episodes. It's good when you clean your room, I guess. Then I watched Lovesick 2024 because I really liked Almond Progress in When Oranges Fall, and I watched episode 1, 2, and 3. Honestly, I don't know why. That part of Lovesick, I always feel like it's longer in the plot and the story, but it's actually quite short. I do think it's a fun adaptation of Lovesick. I am a fan of the book, and also I did like the previous adaptation. I do like the acting in it, though there are some changes in it that I understand, like the intimacy between Pun and No in this adaptation is a lot less than in the novel. And honestly, I understand, because Almond Progress were really young when they filmed this, so I prefer them to not have any kissing or anything, but because of that, it does change the story quite a bit. Because you go from full-on cheating to emotional cheating, but also, like, they changed AIM characters, and I do think it's the part where I'm going to be the most skeptical about, because you kind of feel okay about what Puno did, because AIM is not really great as a character, and I do feel like this show changed that, apart from the fact that she can be a neglectful girlfriend, like when Pun is sick, but it's not, yeah, she's not the same character, and so Pun and No are a bit harder to forgive in this one. But I will come back to it. It's just that I will speak about it later. Forever You, I watched this special episode which had everyone in the cast in it. It was really fun, cute. Like, because I watched all the show as emotional as for some other fans that we are watching for how long it was airing, but still it made me emotional, especially because you can see the show is putting North in the center, but also, like, we can feel it's kind of a love letter to the actor Bass, who really worked really hard and was in the North is in the center of all the story, but you can feel that for him it was a really special role, and I do appreciate that he had a little bit more shine in this episode, even though everyone had its little fan service moments. And I did mark this as completed, but then they announced that there were 2 more special episodes coming, at least, for the 2 first main couple of season 2. I will watch them when back. I've watched 3 episodes, episodes 6, 7, and 8. I still love this show. I still think it's the perfect adaptation. Like, they did really respect manhwa, and that's something I really appreciate as a fan of the manhwa. I did watch episode 8, right, and it had one of my favorite moments in the manhwa, the scene where Sun is acting. If you know, you know. I do think it's one of the most important scenes in the story, and at least they did it justice, and I was really glad about that. I just don't need to binge the last 2 episodes. Don't be too emotional. I watched episode 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this show is hard to talk about, because it does not follow the usual structure of a BL. It is very fast-paced at first, and then kind of slow, and then it isn't even filmed like the usual BL series, but, like, I don't mean that in a good or bad way. It's just something that I've noticed. I did really like episode 6. Episode 5 I was a bit but episode 6 was really good. And I do think it's a great representation of what a toxic relationship can be. It's not all black and all white, and it's more complicated. It's one little mistake can snowball and trust is broken, and then it becomes so toxic, and because you're mad, you become harsh with your word and mean. And I do really like this representation, and I am curious about what's going to happen next, because we have no idea. They didn't put a preview for episode 7, so episode 6 ended in a way we don't know at all where it's going to go now, and I am really curious about it. And then The Age of Horizon. Very good show too. I'm not the biggest historical fan, but this one is succeeding in keeping my attention on. And Great In's chemistry is incredible. I do enjoy learning more about Thai history from this show too, because it's not some history we really learned about. And also during the month of July, I was in Paris for the BTS concert, and I went to see the Thai expositions of the dresses of one of the latest queen of Thailand, and honestly, she did some gorgeous stuff. If you have the opportunity to see those dresses, I really recommend to see them. They were incredible. And because I was watching the Age of Horizon, it made me appreciate it even more, because I do have a little more knowledge about Thai's history and royal history. And as a French person, I do support the rebellion. I know some people are mad at pop for like being a rebel, but because Aung San is a prince, but honestly, country needs freedom. I'm just gonna say that. Then I watched Peach and Me episode 1, 2, 3. I did watch episode 4, but in August, so we're going to pretend I did not. And they are very fun special episodes. I do like the amount of fan service, comedy, little bit of plot, and I do think it helps tying up some loose threads from the main story, like the story about Peach's parents, or Rom and Kunti's relationship, and Mok and everything. It is really fun. Honestly, I don't know what else to add, because the point of this universe and this story is to be fun. So I laugh a lot when I watched the episodes. It did what it was supposed to do. Oh, English. And then I finished rewatching Mute Love High by My Luck, episode 2, 3, and 4. And why I was rewatching it, because I love Seeking, but also because I was showing it to my sister, who is finally watching Thai shows. And because it was only 4 episodes, I was like, you're watching this. Seeking are cute. You're watching this. And it was just as cute and enjoyable as the first watch. So if you haven't watched High by My Luck, I really, really recommend it. It's 4 episodes. It's so bingeable. It's a cute, growing, coming of age story. And like when oranges fall, it teaches you to prioritize yourself, but it doesn't mean you have to give up on people you love too. Then I watched just 1 episode of My Summer of You, a Japanese BL. Honestly, I don't have a lot to say. First episode was nice. I got surprised at the end of the first episode, and I still haven't
Then I
watched the rest. Be My Player 2, episode 1, 2, and 3. It has Max, Key, and Bass from Forever You, and it is a very cute and funny story about esports. Right now, nothing to add particularly. Easy to watch. And it's too early for me to say anything interesting, but a good watch if you want something to watch on Thursday. Then I did start A Winter Sun Wakes the Wind in Spring's Hill's Dream, and I watched episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why did I stop at episode 5? If you watched it, you know, I am scared of angst. It's all I'm going to say about that. But it is a very gorgeous indie BL show. I will go back to it. I must say, like, the first 2 episodes are so confusing because they don't explain anything. And the characters are bit weird. Like, love them, but a bit weird. But yeah, we'll go back to it when I am strong enough to look like my metamonk right here. Yes, I did start Class Crush Crisis, episode 1. I did since watch episode 2, but very cute high school BL on Netflix, and it's nice to see new faces in the BL world, and they look promising. It is fun, nice banter. First episode are always introduction anyway, so I can't say anything really interesting right now. Then I did watch the first episode of Match Point 2, like the tennis BL show on YouTube from GMMTV. It is fun. It does sound promising right now, especially because it is sponsored by Thai government. So I am curious about what this story in particular they thought was interesting to sponsor. And it has quite a bit of bad buddy vibe, especially in this first episode, but I do try to keep bad buddy out of my mind, because it is a bit unfair that we keep comparing bad buddy to some BL, because it is one of the best, and it is hard to compare with that. It does seem like they both have... Yeah, no, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but I do like the dynamic right now. Say, then I finally watched one more episode of Love Upon a Time, episode 9. I will go back to it now, because I'm going to finally be able to watch in the living room, like I prefer to do with this show. I don't know why. For me, it's TV type of show to watch. Even though I am scared that some people are going to walk in on me in those scenes, especially because it's a Dormandy show, so if you know, you know. And I do have the last few episodes to watch and binge, and I'm gonna cry probably, but I will be happy to cry. Not really, but yeah. So one episode, I do love this show still. I'm going back to it. And then I did watch the first episode of Your Third this series, and same, it's goofy series. I was surprised but how fast paced this show is too. Like, it's go quick. You do not have an opportunity to look away because you're losing 10 minutes worth of plot in like that. So it is a show I do think I need to be focusing on the subtitles, because if I don't, I do lose myself in it. And that's it for the TV shows I've watched in July. And then for the books I've read Thousand Autumns Volume 1. I do have a reading vlog coming for it. It was a nice first book. I did get confused a few times. I will say, quick review is, I'm not the biggest fan of the action scenes, but the character dynamic is interesting right now, so I will be continuing, because I already have volume 2 anyway. Then I reread for the third time Lovesick. Yes. That's why I didn't carry on watching Lovesick, because I was in the mood of the story and I was like, I need to reread it. But when you are rereading it, I already refreshed my mind a bit too much. Sorry, that's my bad. And I do know that if I go back to episode 4, I will want to reread Lovesick again for the first time. That's a problem with me. I am a reader, re-watcher, and once I get in the mood, like, it's so hard to get out of it. and sometimes it's so quick. But yeah, Lovesick it pulls me in, and especially because the novel is really funny. No, is really funny. And so it's really easy to read, even though it's quite huge actually. Yes. If you haven't read it before, I do recommend it. It does have some things that did not age really well. It was 2010's well novel, I think. The woman representation in this book is not the best. And sometimes they say stuff, but like, they're teenage guys. And you do read it as teenage guys, is all I'm gonna say. And sadly, teenage guys are not so great sometimes. And lastly, I read the prosecutor's office proposal, and I read up to chapter 103, which kind of is a lot, but not really, because in total it has 270 something chapter, but the translation is free up to 170 something, I think. So that's why I've slowed down my reading pace. And I do like the novel too, especially because it takes more its time. If you watch the show and you read the novel, sometimes you will be confused because like, huh? Isn't that happening before and after? They switched around a lot of scenes to have them fit in and to have a romance be satisfying to watch, but it does take a lot more long time in the novel. So when it does, it does. If you've read it, you've read it, you know. They are freaky in the show, but in the book too. And yeah, I do like the more serious crime plot, and I do feel like I'm learning a little bit, even though some stuff are fiction. Don't take everything seriously. Like, polygraph tests are not infallible, even though this book seems to be obsessed with this type of test. But like, I do really like the characters, and it's interesting to see them from inside their minds a little bit more than in the show, and to have the show to help put faces and everything on that. They really did a perfect casting for it, because I do read scenes that were not in the show, but I do see them acted in my mind. So that's it for what I did BL-wise in July. It was kind of a lot, but not everything. I do need to catch up some episodes, so we will see each other in August to see if I did carry on watching the shows I need to. And if you like BL things, like shows, actors, everything, honestly, if you like BL things, please subscribe, like, and comment so we can be friends together and talk about BL stuff together. My name is Irissu, and that was it for this video. Bye bye!